Today is Sunday, October 16th, halfway into October. And as part of my development in day trading, there's a couple of things that I've identified as a breakthrough moment for me in day trading, and everything else is a what I call a marathon race. And I know that trading, as I've discovered it so far, is recognizing and purchasing and then exiting. If the trade goes in my direction, it's a green day. If the trade does not go in my direction, it's a red day. And because it's a marathon race, it's possible that 1 or 2 days or 3 days or 4 days could be a loser day. The idea is to survive for that day when things are aligned. That allows me to make gains. For instance, for all of September has been particularly a very difficult a month for a trader like me who favors going long to trade. For individuals who are trading for shorts, it must have been a great month because every day was a red day and significant red day, and I could expect it to be a red day the next day and the next day and next day. That's how it worked out for September. Now that the stock market has reached a certain level of drop and price stability, the dramatic drops has declined on a sequential basis. So now I need to work on the second part of the breakthrough that I've recently discovered, and which I knew to be a significant factor in me being profitable. That second part, the first part was not adding to a loser. That's one of them, because I've identified that as a reversion trading mindset. I can fix that. I'm wondering if working on two things might be if that's possible under the circumstances that and hopefully that will be something that's doable, because it is similar to what I have been working on, and they may be related as well. They are related essentially. Cutting losses, not adding, seems to correlate very well. So that also goes into the same situation, I'm thinking, because the reason why I don't cut losses is because this reversion thinking. Reversion thinking is a very, very dangerous thing. It has cost me an incredible amount of money this year. For the past 10 months this year, it has been a going and practicing that reversion trading has been a significant factor in almost 70 heavy losses. Reversion trading thinking has caused me to hold trades until it reached the bottom. It has reached the bottom where after I sold out, it just pops back up. It doesn't happen before. It happens after, and right at the point where I sell out is the point where the maximum amount of pain occurs, and that if it does do a slight reversion, that's when it happens when I exit. So what I need to do is figure out. I hope to make this a very, very long video so I can just vet this out. I need to vet this out. Okay, I have to vet this out. In order for me to be prosperous, I have to figure this out. Cutting losses. So far, what I've gathered from professional day traders is that it's it seems to be a money management, trade management part component of a trade. So there is a thought that I need to always have. Okay, that's something that I need to be ingrained in me, a habit that allows me to add something on. And how do I identify that? How do I identify something that I've done in the past that I add on to, right? So when I see, the thing is, when I drive a car, okay, I have to push a button. I have to push a button that unlocks the car. And then when I get in, usually it's in the morning, so I have to turn the light on. And then I insert the car key into the car and turn the ignition on. Once the ignition is on, then I put it into drive. And I put it into drive and I step on the gas and I go. These are the sequence of events that I do anytime I drive a car. Now, the interesting thing is when I make a trade. So when I make a trade, I identify which one I'm going to trade based on essentially at this point, it looks like there is a possible trade that will occur, such as a reversion trading. However, so what I do is I buy the stock, I get in, and then I wait to see what happens. Okay, and when it moves up, I hold it, and I don't have a particular price target in mind either, because I'm looking and I'm gauging what the market is going to give me, and therefore at a certain point I get out. So when a trade goes significantly higher, and it's being played by emotion, it's all based on emotion or feeling. Feeling is part of the emotion. So when I look at a stock and it's at a certain point, it's reached a point where it looks like it has. When I say to myself, okay, that's a pretty good gain. I don't need any more gain than that. I'm out at that point. But on the flip side, I'm holding on to the losses longer than I should. It's held it's held for a very, very long time. Approximately, if I were to get in early in the day and my thesis is incorrect, I could theoretically hold the stock until the close of the day or even carry it over to the weekend. So this is exactly what's happening with me on Apple right now. Because I was caught in a downtrend and I was unable to, for some reason, I did not get out. And there may be a false hope that maybe on Monday it'll go up, but because Apple has established a trend, most likely reversal is something that has a lower probability of occurring. So I need to really vet this out, and this is very important. This is essentially make it or break it kind of a situation, because that either makes it or breaks it, my trading. That's it. It's that simple. Either I make it or I break it. Either I make it or I break it. That's how important it is. So I need to, and I just watched a YouTube video about cutting losses and on YouTube. Okay, so there could be. So the primary reason for holding it is thinking that, okay, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. That's the thinking that I have, and that's where the most amount of money is lost. Because when a trade is made on my part, is it's there's leverage involved, and when it moves across a certain point, it has a substantial capability of taking. The risk is quite high, and so that risk uh, it has the possibility of when the thesis is incorrect, to take uh, gains that I have, significant amount of gain. So how do I? So I need to work on this, because it's an art form. Losing is an art form. It's not, because if I keep losing in a like this, in a heavy losses uh, all the time, um, without these big wins to support these heavy losses, it'll be a very difficult time accumulating enough to replace my car. So I'm walking around, I'm at this point concerned, even though the car runs fine right now, but it's old, it's getting old. It's the vehicle is very old, okay, and it's not going to last very long either. So I need to figure something out. So this is a very, very pressing issue, and I need to make this change. Although that I have been talking about it, I have not taken action. So that's not right. That's definitely not right. So how do I fix this? What strategic things do I need to do in order to cut my losses? What am I willing to do? What actions will I take? What will I do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? So what am I going to do? Okay, so I get paid as a dishwasher next week. Okay, so this week I did not get paid. Next week I will be paid, and so whatever bills that I have to pay will be paid. Okay, it will be paid. So for now, for the long haul, for the end goal, I have to bite the bullet. I have to accept the fact that I may not make money for the next month or two or 3 months, and strictly work on cutting losses. Yeah, I have to tell myself that for the next 3 months or more, until I figure this out. That's how important this is. That is how important it is. And the only thing that's blocking me. So what? Why do I keep holding onto it? So let's think. Why do I not sell? That's the critical thing. Even though the trade has reversed, even though the trade is going against my thesis, why do I not cut it? Because I'm thinking what is it? I don't even know myself. So how do I figure this out? Okay. So God, how do I figure this out? Tell me, show me, lead me to the waters. So how do I figure this out? Why is it that I'm not cutting? What is making me not cut? I'm trying to make a connection between me and my subconscious, so I can understand why my subconscious is not doing what I want to do. So I have to link up with my subconscious right now. So let's go through. So there's complexity involved. The trades that I made on Friday, there was some complexity because there was like 3 different trades going at the same time. So that's an added complexity that's muddling my mind. Okay. Now this seems to be trivial, but this is something that is impossible to do while the trade is being made, because I'm mentally blocked out from considering cutting losses. So let's figure this out. Okay, so I make a trade, I buy, And then if it goes up, I don't know exactly when I'm going to sell because it hasn't reached the point where I say, okay, that's good enough for me, and I get out. That's the criteria that I don't have. I need to consider what the time frame is and say, okay, if within this time it has gone up, but it might fluctuate and drop. So the next step is, okay, so next step that I need to consider is so simple. It's binary. It's basically binary. Either it's up or it's either down or up. And when it reaches a certain point, I just need to exit the trade. That's it. So what is causing me to not cut losses? Why? Because it moves too fast. Is it? Because because I would see certain things. Okay, so here's here's a scenario. So I would make the trade, and then initially it'll be very innocent. It'll be like a 0.2R, right? And then it'll be 0.5R, and then it'll be 1R. Now 1R, I'm thinking, wow, maybe I should have cut it when it was 0.25R. Maybe it'll come back. So that's the thinking that I have. So I have to set a concrete number that I will never deviate from. I have to set a concrete number that says, okay, if my trade is at that point, I will cut it no matter what. I have to set a limit. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a 0.5R cut limit for the foreseeable future. Even if I lose all the money in there, that is what I need to do. Okay, that is what I'm going to do, and that is what's going to happen. So here's what's going to happen. So I will get in to a trade, and if it's 0.5R, I'm out. Look for another trade some other day. Live to tell the story some other time. That's it. I'm out. Okay, I'm out. It means that I was too lazy in being patient enough to recognize the setup and then entering at the right time. That's what it means. And it is possible certain external events, even though my thinking was correct, that there is a sudden change in the market conditions that causes my trade to be irrelevant. And at that moment, when that happens, the trade that I made could be significantly compromised, causing me to lose every penny that I have. So just set a limit. So set a limit of 0.5R, then I can trade anything. I can trade anything I want because I will gain what I want, and then it'll be done with. Okay? For the next foreseeable future, work on cutting. Work on cutting.